Good morning, everybody. Today we're going to see how we can establish a connection from our local computer to a remote server. In order to do that, we need a technology that is known as SSH keys. So with the help of a pair of SSH keys, one is private, one is public, we can establish a connection. Okay, so in case you don't know what Gitbash is, let me show you what it is. All right, this window is kind of a Linux terminal. It is not original because it is sitting on the Windows computer, but you can do most of the Linux related works using this terminal. Like I said, this is, we know that a Linux command, but if you can run this command here to see the current directory, but not all the commands you can run on Gitbash. For example, to see the calendar, we know this is the Linux command, but you'll see the bash command not found. So the most necessary commands you'll get here. All right, so the purpose of today's video is that we have a remote server and you need to make a connection from a Windows computer using the Gitbash. Let us get back to the theory. So we have a server. In that server, we need a file which is called public key. Okay, and on our local machine, we need a similar kind of file, but this time it is private key. Okay, when these two keys, public and private, meet each other and then see their internal things are okay, then a connection has been established. Okay, now the question is how to create these files. It is very easy. From any Linux terminal, there is a command, or there is a tool, keygen. This is a cryptographic tool by which you can create two files at the same time. The other way is there is a software you can download. It's called PuTTY, and with the help of this software you can generate those keys. But remember, if you use PuTTY, then what you have to do is the private key that will sit on your local computer, you have to convert it to something called open SSH format. Okay, so bear this thing in your mind. So I have generated two keys, public and private. The public keys, I put that on my server, and the private key I have on my machine, and the name of my private key is open SSH. Okay, this is the key. One thing you have to remember, that you have to store this key on a particular folder. All right, so under your username, under C username, you'll see a folder .ssh. Okay, this is the place you have to put your file, which I already did. Let's go to the folder. Okay, and do an ls. You can see the first file is joykey open ssh. That is my private key file, which I'm going to use to make a connection. Okay, so number one you have to do is you have to start a kind of a session. Okay, so if you see this agent, it has to be started on the Gitbash. Okay, do that, and we can see a process ID 1339, and the agent is working. The next step is that we have to add this key to the SSH agent, and the command that we can do that is as simple, just add SSH add, I believe, and file name key open. Okay, let's do it. It has been added, which is a good sign. And the server we are talking about, all along is this. Let me do a ping. It can ping, so we can make a connection to the server by SSH. The rate of the server is oh, I'm sorry for that. Clear. Okay. All right, so SSH. Okay. Best. Control C and make a paste. Not really. All right. SSH, and I need to paste it here. Okay, you can see I'm connected to my Linux server. I can run any Linux command easily here. Let's see. Let's make a file. Okay. Nano youtube.txt and adding a line from Gitbash. Okay. And let's save it. All right. Let's see. YouTube.txt, if you can see, and you can just get youtube.txt, and you can see adding a line from Gitbash. So far so good. Now let's exit out from the server and exit out from the Gitbash. Our first part is done. Now we're going to see how we can connect to the same server from a Linux machine. Okay, now I am on another machine. This is a Linux machine, but it is not. It is a virtual Linux machine sitting somewhere on the cloud, but the idea is same. We'll see how to connect to the same server that we did from our Gitbash terminal. Okay, so let's see where I am. Okay, cd, yeah, that's my home folder, and there is a folder ssh. Okay, ssh, and I can list. You can see my private file. I just put that. I uploaded that file on this particular ssh folder, and now I have to do the same thing what I did on my Gitbash terminal. First thing first. All right, and then the second thing I need to do is, let's see, sh add size. Could not open connection to your authenticated agent. Okay, I believe there's a permission issue which we can easily resolve. I believe I have to do this thing here. All right, now let's see. We can add this file. Could not open a connection. tdddd. Let me see. For some reason it was not, it was giving me an error, but now it's working. If you see, I ran this command ssh add joey the private key, and identity has been added, which means I can easily connect to my remote server. And the command, I'm gonna copy paste. Typing is boring. Last logon was that. Okay, we're connected to the server. Let's do unlisting, and you can see that from the Gitbash we created a file youtube.txt. Adding a line from Gitbash, you can do the same thing. tube.txt. Right, adding another line from another cloud, another local Linux computer. Okay, exit out. All right, the file has been modified. tube.txt, txt. You see the two files. So that's it. This is the public key and private key handshake, and you can establish a connection to remote server. Thank you very much. See you again.